Hello! Today I've got a somewhat less wearable look for you. It was actually an idea of a friend of mine. She's also on YouTube as Love It. And she said to me, you know, why not do a rainbow lip? So, yeah, I did. I'll just come closer so you can see it, hopefully. I think it's just a really fun look to start out the new year and everything. Because, you know, we're just at the start of the new year. Obviously, that's probably not news to any of you, but yeah. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a very fun look to do, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to start out with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Crème de Rose. Yep. If you can hear my camera buzz, that's because it's out of focusing now. Yes, this time I actually figured out within 2 days how my camera can out of focus while filming, instead of the 2 years it took me to figure it out with my last camera. Yeah, I'm improving. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to apply that with a eyeshadow brush on my entire eyelid all the way up to the eyebrow. I did apply my face base on my eye first, well, on my entire face obviously, and then also on my eye, and powdered that. Just to make sure it won't crease, but I prefer to have something like this on my eyelid as well. An eye primer of course would work as well. Just to make sure that the eyeshadow will really attach to it properly. And then it's time for eyeshadow. This time I'm using two rather cheap palettes. I'm going to use the Catrice Absolute Matte palette and the Catrice Absolute Nude palette. Which are basically the palettes that I always use when I just, you know, do a regular like this. Except for the little, I hope you can tell on camera, little purple part underneath it. That's basically what I do for an average day-to-day look. When I'm not filming or anything. You know, this is just what I wear outside and sometimes when I'm filming. But, you know, I'm not showing the same thing every week in a tutorial, obviously. But yeah, so this is just what I regularly do. Yeah, I think these two palettes, you know, both together, they're about the same as a Urban Decay Naked palette. I mean, the quality is a little bit less, of course, but, you know, as you can see, the colors still grab really well and blend really well. So, really, I think they're very useful for daily looks. So, yeah, I'm going to start out with this color over here. A taupe one and a fluffy brush. And just start defining the crease with it. And as you can see, the color is pretty subtle, but it just makes blending all the other colors easier later on. Then I'm going to move on to an angled brush, and the darkest shade I'm going to use the more warm toned one because it suits better with my skin tone. If you have a cool skin tone, you could also choose to use the grayish one. But I prefer to use the brownish one. And we're starting out in the outer V. Then moving on to the crease. And from that point this is blending. Next step is optional, but it's always nice if you really want it to be completely blended and smooth. I'm going to use this color that's almost empty over here. Yeah, it's basically one of my favorite colors obviously. And I'm just using a little bit of that on the tip of the blending brush, just sort of putting that between the crease and the brow bone. And just moving windshield wiper motions until it's, you know, properly blended. Which doesn't really take all that long. Then I'm going to use a short brush, and this is basically the part that everyone who watches multiple of my videos probably already knows. I'm going to use this nude shade over here with this brush to highlight my brow bone. And this time, because I'm going to keep the eyes pretty simple, I do want the highlight to be a little bit, I don't know, making it a little bit more obvious I guess. So I'm putting a little bit of white on the highest point. And then I'm moving on to the Catrice Absolute Nude palette for the shimmery shades. Gonna start out with a short, well, gonna start out is pretty much all I'm gonna use for the rest of this look, this particular brush. But yeah, I'm gonna use this taupe shade over here with a eyeshadow brush. And apply that shade. It's a shimmery one, so that's, I think, very nice for the eyelid. I'm gonna apply that on about 2/3 of the eyelid and just keeping the inner corner clean. Because that's where I'm going to apply with the side of the brush the pale nude shade now. Also a little bit on the bottom. And then it looks like this, obviously. As usual, I have a towel on my lap just to catch any stuff from the brush, like I just use it to wipe the brush clean so that my brush is clean enough to use it for different colors. Then I'm going to use this brown shade over here. And just darken up the lower lash line with it. Doesn't have to be extremely dark or anything, just as long as there's a little bit of definition there. Then it's time for cake eyeliner. I'm using the Catrice cake eyeliner. I mean, you could also use black eyeshadow for it, would also work. And a small angled brush like this. And I'm just sort of making a smoky line. I don't want a very defined line, I guess. So that's why I chose to use this one. And I always like to sort of wipe the outer edge towards the crease a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a cat eye, but not too much. And I'm also applying a little bit of that between the lower lashes. Just to darken them up a bit. And then I'm moving on to pencil liner. I'm going to use Love Me Lavender by Essence, which I think is an adorable name. And this is the Lavender eye pencil. Which actually gives off color, which was something I was pretty surprised about because, you know, in my experience a lot of fun colors don't really look like anything on the eyes, but this one actually does, so that's nice. I'm also going to use Purple Mascara by Essence, the Color Flash one, which is my only colored mascara. And I'm just putting a good amount of that on my lower lash line. I said lower lash line, I meant lower lashes, but you probably understood that anyways. I'm going to use mascara. I'm using the Get Big Lashes by Essence. There's no particular reason, by the way, why I'm using only Essence and Catrice products, mainly for this eye look. It just happens to be what I usually use for a natural look. Because again, I usually do a natural look when I just want to look natural and don't feel like spending all that much time on makeup. So I prefer to use cheaper products then. And then it's time for blush. I'm actually going to do the lips last because I know myself and there's just a big risk of me accidentally smearing it out when I apply blush later if I do my lips first. So I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to use Autumn Peach by Essence. And a contour brush that I also use, or actually only use as a blush brush. Mainly focusing it on the point between my shaper and where I'm going to put the highlight. And just blending it out from that part. This is a nice nude shade, it will fit with anything, including all the lip colors we're going to use later. For highlighter I'm going to use the HEMA Shimmering Face and Body Powder, which I reviewed a little while back. It's a nice and subtle highlight. I do recommend if you're using a spray like this to keep that eye on the side closed. And then I'll just spread it out a little bit with my fingers. And whatever's left on my fingers, I'll just put that on the cupid's bow to make it a little bit shimmery. Like that. And then it's time for lips. As you can tell, I'm starting out with lining my lips. I'm using Beach Bum by Essence, which is actually a eye pencil, but it can be safely used on lips as well, I think. Hasn't killed me so far, so yeah. Well, as you can see, I already did one half of my lips for the Dutch version of this video. And yeah, I'll just show you the other side now. But first, I'll just tell you what colors I use, because otherwise I have to show them while I'm applying them. And that just will take 5 hours or more. So the red one is All You Need Is Red by Essence. The orange one is Abbey Road by P2, which is a German brand, which I've never seen anywhere but in Germany. So I'm not sure if you can get it anywhere else. But, you know, orange is just, pardon, a rare color. Then there's a yellow one, you can't see the color on the outside, so I'm just showing it like this. That I got from Warm Pretty Store. It's not actually very good, but it shows enough for looks like this. Then I used Atomic Serpent by Makeup Revolution, which is actually a very beautiful shade of green. I should just wear colors like that more often, I guess. Then there's this blue one by Warm Pretty Store, which is actually very pretty. That really surprised me, actually. Then there's... because colors like that usually just don't seem very well pigmented, but that one is. In any case, Make Me Magnificent by Makeup Revolution is also very pretty. It's a shimmery purple shade. And yeah, purple is my favorite color, so of course, you know, I love it. And then there's this one by Etos, which is bright green. It's a shade 106. Etos is a Dutch budget, not a budget store, a drugstore, so I'm pretty sure you can't get it anywhere else but in the Netherlands. But you know, bright pink also isn't a very rare color. So yeah, I applied the green exactly in the middle, and now I have 3 other colors to apply. Do keep in mind how many colors you have, because you know you gotta have enough space to put them all. So now I'm using a blue one and a brush also. The lipstick itself, but it's just really difficult to really get it in the right spot, so I'm using a brush instead. And really make sure to keep the lip lines just, you know, nice. And blend it a little bit with the color next to it. Then on to purple. And of course, you know what products you're using, so you know, if a lipstick is like less opaque than another one, do make sure to like apply a second layer of it, but you know, that just depends on which specific product you're using. And if at any point you feel like any color is sort of faded too much to the color next to it, like I feel with the blue right now, you can just, you know, reapply it a little bit. Like that. So just fix that. And then it's time for the last color, which is pink. Actually, I think officially the last color in the rainbow is violet, but I don't have a specifically violet lipstick. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching this. As always, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye! Okay, as usual, I'm gonna start out with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Crème de Rose. Because it's New Year's looks, I just want